Hi, I'm Susan Colley and welcome to You're Not Alone Surviving Your Child's Disability. Respite care is critical for parents of children with disabilities. Not only does respite care provide a much needed break from the constant responsibility, stress, and concern, but it also allows parents to spend some quality time with other members of the family. Here to talk about this important subject is Joan Kelly Rafferty, Project Coordinator from the Massachusetts Lifespan Respite Coalition, and Amy Nazir, Project Director from MLRC and Director of Family Support and Children's Services at the Department of Developmental Services, Northeast Region. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Great. Nice to be
Good.
here.
Nice to have you here. What does the Massachusetts Lifespan Respite Coalition do to promote quality respite care for individuals with disabilities? Would either one of you like to answer
maybe
that?
a little bit about our history and
Sure. So we've been around for about 3 years, and we started as a result of a federal grant that we received from the Federal Administration on Community Living. And really the focus of the grant is to look at respite care as a short break in caregiving responsibilities, and that's something that's a critical need for all families of anybody,
yes.
of any caring for anyone with any type of special need, regardless of age or disability, just looking at it very broadly, that anyone who's caring for a loved one with special needs a break.
Oh,
and
definitely.
so that's really the overall goal of our group and what we've been working on. And
Great.
we've approached that through a lot of different ways, which we'll talk about.
Okay. Did you want to add anything with that, Joan?
just that we really are looking at a number of different things to help families find out information, resources, support, between having conferences, information on our website, directing people to different locations, whether it's web-based or in the community, that they might be able to get information and help. At this point, like, our ideal dream would be that someday we had funding and we could actually provide respite funding to families. But that would be a very long-term goal of ours. It's sort of on our radar, but not something that we can really address right now.
Funding is a very important issue as well.
It's a huge issue.
You know, because parents can't afford to spend the cost for respite care. What is the going rate now these days?
I think it really varies and depends on the need of your care recipient. So if you have maybe an adult or a child that can walk independently, communicate, function pretty well in the community, you might be able to hire someone for about $12 an hour. If you're someone whose individual might be in a wheelchair, maybe has a feeding tube, a seizure disorder, maybe some other medical complexities, you're really talking about hiring someone that has maybe more medical training. You may, in some cases, families may even need a nurse, which is a lot more money per hour. And then it varies between finding someone independently, or if you're working through an agency, agencies have rates. There's a lot more scrutiny and other things that go along with working with an agency, but it really ranges broadly.
And just to add to that in terms of the funding piece, one of the things that we are doing with our website, which again we'll talk about that as we go along, massrespite.org is the website that we've developed, is helping families get some information about, you know, maybe there are some sources of funding that you might be eligible for to help offset the cost, so families don't have to feel like they have to pay for all of this out of their own pocket.
Yeah.
So we're hoping, and as Joan said, it's kind of our goal over as we continue to develop the website is to really help families figure out, okay, maybe I'm eligible for some funding from the Department of Developmental Services or Mass Health or different funding sources depending on the needs of your loved one, so that we can help kind of
Do you have a
piece that
hotline
together.
or anything of that nature that you've developed or anything so that parents can call in and ask questions?
Right. That's one of the things that really, again, ideally, we would love to be able to offer something like that. There just isn't any funding